folks, it's Patriot Nurse, and in today's segment I wanted to discuss with you some of the recommended books that I have in my bookshelf. And before we start out, don't feel like you have to jot everything down, because I have just started the patriotnurse.com website, and we're at the website we have the Patriot Nurse bookshelf and also the Patriot Nurse's medical stash, medical supplies. So these books will all be there in addition to lots of other ones that I don't have the time to go into today. And we'll go ahead and start. I have 4 different categories of books that I want to discuss with you. One is just general survival know-how and good stuff. The second one is homeopathic, I guess, alternative health care types of stuff. The third is general mainstream medical type of stuff, and then the fourth is women's health and mother-baby type of stuff, which don't discount it. It's going to be important for sure. So we'll start out with the exciting stuff. Yeah, well, they're all exciting, so we'll just go with there. There are a bunch of books here, but I've just kind of whittled it down to some of the books that I think are just really good overall to start out if you don't have them. First here is the book Patriots. And like I said, you can go to my website and I've got links to all of this here. So that way you don't feel like you have to copy everything down. This is a really neat book. It was my introduction into the prepping community, and I think a lot of it certainly is good advice for sure. There are some things that I think are a little bit over the top, and some things that I would take issue with, especially as far as weapons choices, but it's okay. It's a great place to start for sure. So there's that, and then this is a great little reference here. This is The Self-Sufficient Life and How to Live It. I love this book. This is so cool. One thing I love about this book that you don't really see with a lot of the other prepping types of books is that the pictures here are great. This goes over everything from choosing like cattle, like beef and goats, and beef would be cows, but choosing different things for starting up your place. This is written by a dude who lives in England, so obviously take into account vegetable, different growing choices based on your area, but it's a wonderful book. I love it. It's great. The next one here is the Encyclopedia of Country Living, which this is a rather thick book for sure. There's a lot of really good stuff in here, just a lot of really good referencing on how to do different things, but it's a great book to have just as a reference. So it's the Encyclopedia of Country Living. And on the heels of that, this is one in the entire series of the Foxfire books. I love the Foxfire books. Number one, because it's like my home, this area that this takes place in, I guess the documenting, if you will, of the lifestyle for the Foxfire series. It's my peeps. It's the Appalachian Mountains. So I love it. But it has a lot of really practical stuff in it. All of the book series are great. Or all of the books in the series are great. Chimney building, everything from how to kill a hog, which I don't eat pigs, but just a lot of really good stuff. And also with that is a lesser known book, which is the Foxfire Book of Appalachian Cookery. This is a wonderful book. This actually goes into detail about how to cook with cast iron over fires, which a lot of people are not used to. Actually, I love baking over fires and I'm quite proficient with it. But it's a wonderful resource for how to cook in the old school way. And also the Ball Complete Book of Home Preserving. I love this. Some of the recipes that I've tried out in here have just not tasted really good, but it's a great go-to reference as far as cook temperatures, different things with pressure canning and water bath canning, both of which I've done. So the Ball Book of Home Preserving is a great one. Okay, so that's the general preparedness, survival types of stuff. Let's segue into the medical prep side of things. I'm really only going to put up a few of these alternative books because, in my opinion, if you follow these, you won't have a lot of the problems that you have to seek out medical treatment for. And this is the Bragg series. There's been some question about Patricia Bragg and Paul Bragg and lots of that stuff. That's okay, but the bottom line is that the lives of their students and the health of their students speak for themselves. So if you can only get one, you can see this on my website too, so don't feel like you've got to get everything. The Bragg Healthy Lifestyle, this is a wonderful, just overall comprehensive viewpoint on improving your health in alternative means. And when I say alternative, basically I mean non-pharmaceutically oriented, non-medically mainstream. It's really a lot of commonsensical type of stuff. And also, this one is a little bit harder to get, The Miracle of Fasting. Wonderful book, absolutely wonderful. And then for your companion on storing raw organic apple cider vinegar, the Apple Cider Vinegar book. So it's wonderful. It goes into lots of different uses for apple cider vinegar, which in my opinion is one of the great unsung heroes of natural medicine. So we'll go next into our mainstream medical stuff. If you are storing pharmaceuticals, this is a must-have. This is in any drug guide will do, any nurse's drug guide. This is, in my opinion, superior to the PDR, the physician's desk reference, for the average person, especially for the lay person, because it frankly gives you a Cliff's Notes version, a boiled down version of what you need to know with drugs and what they interact with and how you use them and what they're for and what dosages to give for antibiotics and everything. So get one of these. This next one is a little one that I found in a bookshop, and I have not found anything quite this amazing in my opinion. This is the Terrorism and Other Public Health Emergencies book, put out by, it's, you know, take it for what it's worth, it's the Department of Health and Human Services, but it is a wonderful reference. It goes into everything from cholera to radiation emergencies, ricin toxin, brucellosis, lots of good stuff. And it goes into the drugs that you use to treat these different things, and gives you a comprehensive perspective not only on these diseases and how to treat them, but also the government's role and what their plans are for outbreaks and pandemics and things like that. Great reference to have, that way you know lots of good things. And this one is actually a really good reference too. This is the Ethicon Wound Closure Manual. This will show you different suturing techniques for different areas of the body, different wound types and management and things like that. It's a really good reference. Like I said, there's nothing to substitute actual practice with suturing. I don't do it that often. I know how to, I have done it, but it's not something that I use every day. But this is a wonderful book for a general reference. If you're storing sutures and suturing equipment or a general surgical kit, you need that. This is a wonderful little book. It is Human Anatomy by Ken Saladin. This is a book I went through nursing school with, and I really like it because it's very rich visually. And in my opinion, if you're going to fix the human body or there's something the matter that needs addressing, you need to know what the norm is. It's great to know what the exceptions are, but you need to know how to spot normal too. So this is a wonderful book, and you can get it for a song. It is in one of the earlier editions, but that's just fine because the human body hasn't changed very much over thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and probably more. But there's lots of good stuff here. And now the last one is something that is quite near and dear to my heart, and that is women's health and mother baby type of stuff. I have 4 books here that are very important. Men, if you have wives of childbearing ages, then you really need to pay attention to this, because especially if your women are not familiar with breastfeeding, you're going to be in for a rude awakening when that baby goes through all the formula that you stored. So go ahead and look at this now. This is the Ultimate Breastfeeding Book of Answers. It's a wonderful resource because it goes into different problems that are commonly encountered with breastfeeding and how to address them. A wonderful book. It does not take the place, in my opinion, of a lactation consultant, but it's fantastic for a reference. There's another great one, Pregnancy, Childbirth, and the Newborn. And this is by Penny Simkin, I think. Yeah, Penny Simkin and Jan Whaley. It's a great reference to what to be expecting in pregnancy and in the postpartum period, what's normal for your wife or for your woman and the baby too, so you need to consider that. And along with that, 2 very important companions for pregnancy and for birth. This one right here, Birthing from Within, is a fantastic book. It goes into, in my opinion, the most natural and, in my opinion, also the most fruitful way to go about visualizing childbirth and, you know, the whole transition into motherhood, as well as spiritual midwifery. This is a wonderful book as well. It's by Mae Gaskin, which you may have heard of, and it is it's a body of collected stories of normal and not so normal births. So it gives you a little bit of perspective, which you won't get with a lot of these books that are common, you know, reference books. So, like I said, all of these books you can find on my website under the Patriot Nurses bookshelf. And you can click on them, price match, or whatever is most appropriate for you. But I hope it's been helpful for you today. And for now, it's Patriot Nurse signing off, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.